A person who found millions of dollars lying on the road and then searched for the owner is considered a fool by most people. He is insulted by many, and they begin wondering whether he is mentally sound. Could this be the ultimate sign that if you are too good, most people will see you as naive, as an ordinary, insignificant person? Let's stop fooling ourselves. We have all realized that this world has no justice. You keep dreaming while you're asleep. Thieves, robbers, and evil people, most of them reach success very quickly. And if you look closely, you'll realize it didn't even take them much effort. Why is it that people who try to follow the rules and fight to be good often end up as failures, looked down on throughout their lives? It hurts, doesn't it? You want to be a good person. You want to treat others well. But why do you always end up falling behind? Why does it always seem like you're the unlucky one? Have you ever asked yourself why the people considered evil seem to prosper in life? Why is it that a politician who doesn't care about the people he leads, who takes bribes, is often the one who goes the farthest? Why is it that the abusive, intimidating boss is the one everyone listens to? Why do thieves, traitors, hypocrites, and people who don't care about others so often succeed in this world and achieve everything you dream of? Does success in this life have anything to do with your behavior? And if that's the case, then what's the point of refusing to become a bad person if it only keeps you from succeeding? Stay with me and let's talk about it. Imagine walking into a building. You enter a room and find many people inside. Every single one of them is wearing a face mask. They are angry. Some are even grinding their teeth. Now remember, you are the only one without a mask. Instead, you're smiling and looking at them with genuine joy. It won't take long before they label you as the fool in the room, or someone who doesn't think, someone who doesn't understand the times we live in. That was the difficult life of Prince Nikolaevich Myshkin, the main character in the novel The Idiot, written by the Russian author Fyodor Dostoevsky. Nikolaevich was a kind man. He lived by the moral principles of the society he belonged to. He avoided wrongdoing and showed deep compassion, but people didn't care. They never appreciated the good he did. Instead, they mocked him and used him as a tool for their own benefit. Eventually, all of this contributed to his epilepsy. This is not just a Russian story from 1868. It is a true reflection of human nature, and even today, nothing has changed. This is still the world we live in. Why is it that honesty, loyalty, patience, and other virtues seem to bring so little reward in a world that quickly rewards thieves, hypocrites, and wicked people? To understand this, we first need to understand what society truly values. We all like to appear as good people. We like to believe that we hate evil and that we are people of integrity. But take a moment and look back. Are we really like that? Or are we simply willing to tolerate difficult situations as long as they don't threaten our own interests? When someone is honest, speaks kindly, and tells the truth, we call that person good. We admire those qualities as long as that honesty and integrity don't interfere with our own interests. The moment that same honesty begins to stand in the way of what benefits us, that person suddenly becomes a fool, someone with little intelligence, someone who doesn't know how to think. If you examine it carefully, you'll discover that many of the people who have achieved everything most of us desire in this life, and who have reached the highest levels of honor and influence, were never known for having good character, or they had very little in common with what society calls good character. Take a close look at the greatest rulers the world has ever known. They understood when to be kind and when to be ruthless. They knew the right time to earn people's love and the right time to earn their fear. They showed no unnecessary mercy, to the point that people became afraid of them. In Machiavelli's writings, he says that a true leader must always be ready at any moment to do something people never expect, whether it is something good or something bad. In other words, wisdom lies in knowing the right moment to act and choosing the right character for that moment. He says this because the world we live in no longer rewards honesty or good character. Instead, it rewards the results they produce. It rewards what your honesty achieves and what your goodness accomplishes. That is what the world rewards. That is why Prince Myshkin's life became so difficult. He never understood the principles and rules that govern the world we live in. He never learned how to lie, deceive, or manipulate people. That is why he appeared to be a fool throughout his entire life, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he never knew when to use his kindness or when it was necessary to use his darker side. He ignored the fact that we live in a competitive world where everyone is fighting for their own interests without caring about the person beside them. They pursue their own goals regardless of the path they take or the damage they leave behind. The only thing that matters is reaching the destination. Think about it. How many times have you seen this happen in everyday life? How often do you see compassionate people who love helping others and genuinely care about them, treated like tools? How often are they considered weak or unintelligent? How many times have you heard about people with kind hearts being betrayed or even killed? What's even more shocking is that they are often hurt by the very people they helped, the very people they trusted, welcomed into their lives, and gave everything to. Those are the same people who end up betraying them. How many times have you wondered whether you are the fool, whether you are naive because you trusted people and they betrayed you? Listen to me carefully. I am not saying that the whole world is corrupt or that everyone has become evil. No. What I am saying is that there are moments when a certain amount of cleverness is necessary just to survive. Even good people should not cling blindly to their principles forever. There comes a time when they must adapt in order to protect themselves and accomplish their goals. You may be an honest person who hates lying. But think about this. Suppose your employer calls you and asks you to come to work on your day off. If you go, you may end up hurting yourself and the people close. Instead, you might answer, "I'm sorry, I can't come because I'm not feeling well." In that moment, you would be lying, but you would also be protecting yourself. Although the world sometimes forces us to make mistakes just to keep moving forward, that does not change the fact that people like Prince Myshkin still exist. The remarkable thing about The Idiot is that the author never presents Prince as someone who was simply denied what he deserved or unfairly deprived of something. His character and his life became like a mirror in which everyone around him saw themselves. They were forced to confront who they really were. That is exactly why they didn't want him among them. He did things they themselves were incapable of doing, even while they believed they were the ones who were right. So be prepared. If you find yourself surrounded by people who are doing evil while you refuse to join them, understand that consequences will follow. If you are not willing to do what they do, then leave them behind. But if you choose to stay among them, be ready to face every consequence that comes with refusing to become like them. Because your life will constantly remind them that another path exists, a path they refuse to take because they are convinced that their way is the right one. Your goodness will expose the evil in others. Your honesty will expose the lies of others. And because of that, people will reject you and push you away. They believe that lying, being cruel, betraying others, stealing, and even killing are simply part of everyday life and the path to success. Now let's ask an important question. Was Prince the one who had the problem, or were the people around him the ones who had the problem? Why do kindness and compassion threaten certain people in this world? To understand this, we need to pay close attention to human relationships and the way people communicate. Whenever two or more people interact, their relationships are usually built on power or personal interests. When someone talks to another person, they carefully observe that person's behavior. They think through every word they are about to say based on what they want from that person. And what they want is not always something material. Sometimes they simply want to be admired, noticed, respected, or accepted. We live in a world where both manipulation and honesty are often driven by what a person hopes to gain. When you see someone who is suffering and decide to help them, you show them that you are a kind person who truly cares. But if they never say, "Thank you," you begin to feel hurt inside. You tell yourself, they are hurting, but they don't even know how to be grateful. Prince, however, was different. He forgave people. He had a heart without bitterness. He continued forgiving them, even when they were already planning to betray him again. Prince never realized that he was living among people wearing masks. The entire world around him was wearing one. Meanwhile, he stood in the open like a mirror, reflecting everyone exactly as they were. That is where the hatred came from. That is why people called him a fool. Experts who study human behavior have long examined the strange feeling we experience whenever we encounter someone who behaves differently from what we have always believed or expected. For example, suppose you believe you are exceptionally good at something. Then another person comes along and performs that same thing even better than you. In that moment, you immediately feel threatened. Prince made people feel exactly that way. Time after time, he did things they themselves were unable to do. And by doing so, he exposed their weaknesses. Some of them even realized, by comparing themselves to Prince's life, that they were actually bad people. But because changing their character was difficult, many chose a different path. They pretended to be his friends. They acted as though they supported him. But the moment they walked away, they returned to being the very same people they had always been. How many people do you know who abandoned their own values just to please others? How many people have found themselves surrounded by those who do evil, yet lacked the courage to say, "I don't do those things"? You already know what happens. Even if you never join them in doing wrong, they will unite to drive you away instead of driving the evil out of themselves. How often have you heard someone being praised for spending their entire life helping others? And why does that bother them? Because deep down, they know they could never live that way. They begin thinking, this person is doing too much. They are just trying to look good. Sometimes they even convince themselves that such goodness isn't real. They ask, How can someone give away what belongs to them? How can a person dedicate their entire life to caring for others instead of themselves? That is when we begin judging them. We start searching for their flaws. Why? Because they chose a path we ourselves were unwilling to take. Their choices challenge our own beliefs and the principles we built our lives upon. The moment you admit that person is truly good, you are also admitting that you are not. The moment you admit they are capable, you are also admitting that you are not. And that is one of the hardest truths people face in everyday life. Most of us are naturally drawn to shortcuts and unhealthy behavior. That is why a truly good person often makes us uncomfortable. They are walking a path we ourselves have chosen not to follow. When we look at someone who is genuinely good, we often wish we could be like them. But then we consider the price they have paid. Being a good person requires suffering. It requires sacrifice. It requires changing your entire way of living. That is why people isolate those who are truly good. They push them aside and slowly begin making them look foolish in the eyes of others, stripping away their dignity and respect. This brings us to another important question. Does being a good person actually benefit anyone? Does it lead to anything worthwhile? This is where things become difficult. In The Idiot, the author says that being honest does not mean living in expectation of praise or waiting for a reward from other people. It is simply the way of life you choose. Prince never regretted the life he lived or the person he became. That leads us to another question, one that seems to challenge everything we've discussed so far. If being a good person is truly a good thing, then why does it bring pain and suffering to those who choose that path? Now let's look at what being a good person actually brings in a world that places so little value on goodness. This is a world filled with competition, a world where people constantly struggle against one another, a world that rarely values good people. First, let's talk about the suffering that comes simply because you choose to be good. What kind of suffering is it when compared to all the other forms of pain people experience? The truth is, there is a deep connection between suffering and being a good person in this life. This is a subject that has been discussed by scholars of human behavior, philosophers, religious thinkers, and literary experts. Many of the people who were admired, honored, and almost worshipped during their lives endured tremendous suffering. Jesus Christ, Socrates, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., and many others, all of them devoted their lives to truth, justice, and doing good. And because of that, they were opposed, they were persecuted, they were rejected by society, and many of them met tragic ends. So why does the world fight against good people? Most of the time, the answer is selfishness. Imagine it's raining. People are sleeping on the streets with nowhere to go. Meanwhile, I own a large house with many empty rooms, but I still refuse to bring them into my home. I simply don't care. The command to love others naturally brings more people into your life, yet human nature does not enjoy constantly sharing its personal space with everyone else. That is why living according to the principles of love, respect, and genuine care for others becomes so difficult. Good people remind us of that command to love one another, and because our natural instincts often resist that kind of life, we find it difficult to live comfortably around them. Deep inside, we simply want peace, quiet, and to be left alone. This world is like a jungle. It operates according to its own laws. the same kind of laws that govern survival in the wild. Before long, you'll realize how mistaken you were if you simply sit back and wait for justice whenever. Soon enough, you'll discover that the world you trusted to be fair is filled with deception. And if you're not careful, you may eventually become deceptive yourself. You may become manipulative. You may even become the very thing you once hated. Everything around us seems to suggest that success has very little to do with being a good person. Most good people believe the world is governed by justice. They believe everyone lives under the same rules. They believe life gives everyone equal opportunities, and they believe that the effort they put into becoming good will eventually be rewarded. But that is a lie. A German philosopher once said that the moral values and good behavior society constantly encourages us to follow are actually a trap. He argued that this is a lie that keeps ordinary people weak, while those who hold power continue moving ahead, taking everything they want. His conclusion was this: the people who rise to the top are not necessarily better than everyone else. They are not more talented. They are not even more intelligent. They are simply the ones who understand how power and authority truly work. They know exactly how this game was designed long ago. Instead of waiting for opportunities, they place themselves in positions where everyone else must go through them to achieve what they want. The world does not reward people simply because they behave well. It rewards those who understand the rules of the game that people established long ago. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. What he revealed has the power to completely change the way you think about relationships, respect, freedom, and human behavior. He said, "Your kindness, your good character, and all the moral rules you live by are not enough to help you survive in this world." If you believe that being kind and living by strong moral values will automatically lead you to success, Machiavelli would immediately tell you that you are mistaken. The most surprising part is that, even while hearing this, deep down you already know it yourself. For a long time, people have treated you like a fool. They have looked at you as someone who isn't capable. And despite doing everything the right way, you have never truly been able to prove them wrong. Ever since we were children, we were taught that being a good person would take us far in life. But as we grow older, reality begins to tell a different story. Instead, we watch the world reward thieves, evil people, murderers, traitors, and those who care nothing about others. The world rewards those who know how to play their cards. This is exactly where Machiavelli explains that human beings are naturally selfish. They are unpredictable, and under the right circumstances, they are capable of becoming very dangerous. Yes, when necessary, people can become incredibly cruel. Although many people believe Machiavelli taught that everyone should become evil, what he actually warned against was something different. He explained that if you choose to remain a good person without wisdom, without strategy, and without understanding how the world really works, you will eventually become the one who loses. He says that if you choose the path of honesty and integrity, you must also prepare a way for those qualities to work in your favor. If you ignore that, people will see you as a fool, as someone who is naive, as someone who lacks wisdom. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next video. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below.